The exciting news about this talk is it's going to be a dialogue of sorts, okay? So you may not know everyone on your row, and everyone doesn't know everyone in the building. But 9 times out of 10, you are familiar with these questions and the answers, all right? So go ahead and close your eyes. I can't see very many of you, but I'm going to have to go on the honor code here. So close your eyes. So we're all familiar with his eyes on the sparrow, correct? All right, we're familiar with the song. I sing because I'm happy. We know about it, right? But typically when we hear this song in a church setting, it's not at a wedding, it's not at a baptism, it's typically where? At a funeral, look at that. And so at the funeral, the most important or sought after or anticipated segment of it is after the funeral, correct? Communication at this point is at an all-time high. Verbal communication is on 10, written communication is on 12. Folks are texting, folks are calling, folks are meeting in the parking lot, all to figure out where the repast will be. We want to know where the repast will be, okay? And at this repast, while we are excited about connecting with old family and old friends, what folks are really interested in is that to-go box. Yes, the to-go box. Now, again, we don't all know each other, but I am 95% certain that we know what is inside of this box. So let's talk about it. Keep your eyes closed, but I want you to talk to me. All right, so in this box, and we know what color the box is white, all right? Inside of this box, there is a meat inside of the box. The meat is not beef. The meat is not fish. The meat is what? Chicken. That's right. And it's not going to be grilled. Somebody in the back said it's going to be correct. Now, if there is a side item in this box, it's one or two things. But if you had to put your money on one of the side item vegetables in this box, it's going to be green in color. What vegetable is it going to be? My goodness, were you guys at the funeral? There will be green beans in this box. There will also be a side of macaroni and cheese and or potato salad. And if you are finicky about the potato salad, you want to know who made it, all right? All right? There will be a roll. There will be a dessert. The dessert will be peach cobbler or a slice of store-bought cake. All right? In addition to that, if somebody, the auntie from out of town, she comes down south and says, hey, we got to have some salad. They'll put some bag salad in the box. But there's only a couple of dressings that we rock with. Now, it's not going to be Thousand Olive. No. It's not going to be Catalina. And depending on how bougie the place of worship is, there may be Italian. But 9 times out of 10, it's going to be what? There it is. You know. Listen, these things, now we don't know each other. We don't worship the same. We don't go to the same, events, but we knew this, right? Now these staples are tried. They are true, right? The fact that these are similar across the city, across the state, across the country means there's correlation there. And because we don't know each other and we all knew the answers, there's also culture there, correct? All right, now the correlation is what we want to talk about at this point, because these foods that are tried and true are also directly linked to chronic diseases, preventable chronic diseases in Black and brown communities. That fried chicken is directly linked to high cholesterol, hypertension, and heart disease. Those green beans that we all know and love, the green beans or those peas, they are out of a can, so they are heavy laden with sodium, all right? The macaroni and cheese and the potato salad are high in cholesterol, which contributes to heart disease. And then the peach cobbler and the slice of store-bought pound cake is going to be directly linked to type 2 diabetes in excess over time. And we know the ranch is linked to high cholesterol. What am I saying? These chronic diseases are prevalent and permeating throughout our culture. But let's go a little bit deeper, all right? African Americans are 2 times as likely to have type 2 diabetes. That's what it is, all right? Heart disease is the leading cause of death among African American men and women. Heart disease now, all right? And then in addition to that, everybody is making money when we are ill. Everyone is profiting from our disease and our mortality. And that's problematic for me. All right? Now listen here. Last year, the pharmaceutical companies made $1.4 trillion. Selah. Rest in that. All right? The health insurance companies made $19 billion last year. Health insurance companies made $19 billion. And even the companies that manufacture caskets at this funeral made $650 million. All right? Now, the folks who are over these agencies and over these companies and profiting from these revenues don't look like you and I, do they? But they are profiting from our illness. All right? The first time I saw what transformation power, nutrition, and eating well had was with my mother. Eating well is a revolutionary concept, and it's revolutionary because it can change and shift the trajectory of your life and your family's life. So I mentioned the first time I saw it was with my mother. She was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer in the 90s, all right, and also liver metastasis. She was given 6 months to live. And during that time, I saw a shift in the kitchen. I saw juice, I saw fresh fruit, I saw fresh vegetables, I saw color. It dramatically shifted in the pantry, right? I spent more time at the health food store than any other store in the city of Baton Rouge because my mother was making a shift as it pertained to her health, all right? In this time, she was able to change the trajectory of her diagnosis. My father, to know him is to love him. My father is a modern day Malcolm X, if you will, but he loves the Lord. He did too, okay? And his mother passed away from colon cancer, right? We're talking about the things that we eat, right? Passed away from colon cancer. And when my brother and I were coming up, you know, he made certain that we were eating well. He didn't take us to McDonald's. He took us to Subway because we just weren't going to be eating processed food on his watch. Anytime we were in the grocery store, he made sure that we checked the food labels, and he did not let us have a whole bunch of candy. So one time, you know, when you're at school, your kids ask the class, what's your favorite food? And one of the young ladies said, my favorite foods are pork chops. And I didn't know what a pork chop was at the time. And so my dad has traditional family values, and we would eat at the table for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all right? And while sitting at the table, I was like, Daddy, you know, why don't we eat pork chops? What are those? And my daddy said, well, baby, you know, the police and policy are doing a pretty good job of killing black folks, and we're not going to add pork chops to the lineup. And I said, all right. So my dad was instilling these values. My mother was changing the trajectory of her life through nutrition. And last year, about 7-8 months ago, I got married, and she was dancing at my wedding, okay? That's right. Give it up. So that's who I am, and that's why I'm here. But I decided to be a registered nutritionist, dietitian, nutritionist, because I truly believe that we can shift conversations and culture around wellness and our community as it relates to positive health outcomes. We can do that. And so often this seems daunting. Folks don't know where to start. This is where we start today. This is what I want you to take in today. The first thing I want you to think about is I want you to consider consuming real foods. Consuming real foods. It's a revolutionary concept. And if you don't know if it's real or not, ask yourselves a couple of questions. First, did this food grow out of the ground? It could be real. Can this food be picked off of a tree? It could be real. Can you pick this food off of a vine? It could be real. If you pour this liquid on a plant, will it live or will it die? It could be real, right? But If it's not real, ask yourself this: was this made in a plant? Was it manufactured in a lab? Or is it processed beyond recognition? If the answer to that is yes, then perhaps it's not. Listen, guys, we're all working towards wellness, all right? Now and today is the opportunity for us to decide, to make a decision, to be intentional about our health, because other folks and other companies are intentional about our illness and banking on our illness. If we ever got well, some folks would go broke. Okay? Let's decide to be intentional about our health and wellness. Let's decide to consume real foods. Y'all, let's decide to succeed in this thing, okay? We are all working towards wellness, all right? Heart attack does not have to be our family history, and diabetes does not have to be our destiny. We're walking towards wellness. We're working towards wellness. We're looking forward to your successes. Thank you.